you wanted the best, you've got the best podcast, the hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Folks, Voss here from thechrisvossshow.com. Ladies and gentlemen, the RLA 6 that makes official. Welcome to the big show. As always, for 2,500 episodes and 16 years, we're bringing the Chris Voss Show with all the most wonderful minds, the greatest storytellers, the greatest lessons of life, all the things that can make your life better. That's what the Chris Voss Show does. 2,500 episodes. That's at least 2,500, I don't know, half hours, 40 minutes that you can just go immerse yourself in. And when you get done, you'll be like Superman. Something like that.
Opinions expressed by guests on the podcast are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the host or the Chris Voss Show. Some guests of the show may be advertising on the podcast, but it is not an endorsement or review of any kind.
Today we had an amazing young lady on the show. We're going to be talking about her book called Healthy, Happy, Whole, a Health and Wellbeing Workbook, out February 21st, 2022, and some of her other consulting that she does with executives and teams, et cetera, et cetera. We'll get into some of the deets. Barbara A. Palmer joins us on the show. We're going to be talking to her about her insights and everything else. Welcome to the show, Barbara. How are you?
I'm doing great, and thank you for having me. Good to be here.
Thank you for coming. We really appreciate having you as well. Give us your .coms. Where do you want people to find out more about you on the interwebs?
There are a couple places, bplifecoach.com, also bplifecoachingservices.com.
So give us a 30,000 overview. What's inside this book?
Healthy, Happy, Whole is a workbook that's designed to be something that you use again and again. It includes some self-assessments where a person can kind of see where they are and as it relates to their overall health and well-being. And we're not just talking about physically, but in terms of even as far as how they feel on a regular basis, their support system, how, if they've dealt with losses, ways to make sure they've processed what they've been through.
Help them process what they've been through. Healthy, happy, whole. Why is it important to have all those things? And to is that some sort of balance we should have? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, actually, the word dis-ease, that we have gotten so used to thinking that, the word disease is a thing. Well, the thing about it is it's based on a lack of ease. So the more we get away from feeling at ease, whether it's mentally, physically, spiritually, socially, in our relationships, whenever there is dis-ease, that is an indication that an adjustment is needed. Because otherwise, what does happen is because of the integration between the mind and the body and every other aspect of our being, our health is affected. So our physical health starts to break down before it shows up. And it starts with how we're thinking. Yeah.
And the mind, what happens in the mind shows up in the body. I think there's some
absolutely yes.
What the mind does. So you help people. You talk about different aspects in the book of 12 different levels or aliveness that await you. Can you maybe tell us about some of these levels?
The main thing is to know that based on what we have been through, let's say in the past 12 months. It's like many times we don't even realize everything that we've been through within a certain period of time. But if you do a look back, and this is one of the self-assessments that's in the book, it allows you to actually give like a score. There are certain points for different experiences. And where ultimately you can see where you are as it relates to your health and well-being, or the possibility that increases as far as you possibly having a decline, a sudden decline in your health, or something happening that basically stops you if you don't stop yourself.
Yeah. Stop yourself from doing those bad things. Now you talk about SMART goals. What are SMART goals? SMART is the acronym, I guess.
Yeah, SMART goals. The S is for you want it to be specific. Sometimes we say we have goals, but they're really, they're not specific enough. And also the M is for measurable. And many times that's one of the main things that's missing when a person sets a goal. If it can't be measured, it's not really a goal. It's more like a shot in the dark,
Yeah.
And then the A is something that is basically, it's achievable. It's something that is achievable. Even if it's something you haven't done before, if it's been done before by someone else, it's achievable.
Yeah, it's true. It's like when the first people made Everest, or, the marathons and stuff. Yeah.
And then the R is as far as realistic. Realistic, we're talking about in terms of for you. And this doesn't mean that you have to have it all figured out, but realistic in terms of, is this something that you can focus on, that you're willing to focus on? Is this something that you are willing to commit to? No, because if you're not, is it realistic? Even if it's something that, it's specific, it's measurable, it's achievable. But if you are not willing to invest in it, then it's not realistic.
That's very true.
And then the T is for, it needs to be time sensitive. And even if the time ends up shifting, like you say that it's going to be 90 days that you're looking at achieving a goal, it could be, based on years or weeks, but whatever it is, there's a time factor that you have that kind of helps you to check and see where you are in terms of your progress. And if you need to make an adjustment in the time, you can do that, because one of the things about big, hairy, audacious goals is that you really don't necessarily know the how and the when, but you need something when you're setting a goal and time, and you need a time factor included in order for it to be a SMART goal.
You got to have it accountable, right?
Yeah.
I like these. I remember back in 1989 when I first met Tony Robbins at his early seminars, he would do this thing where he would ask people, I don't know if he still does it, but he'd do this thing where he'd ask people, who wants to make more money this year? And people raise their hand. And then he would, whoever was closest to him, he'd flip a quarter at them. And he'd be like, okay, well, you made more money now. Are you happy? And so I think that was a good example of what you just said. You've got to clearly define your goals. You've got to put some accountability there. You've got to give them a time to kind of fire them up. Because, I could say I just want to be a billionaire sometime in my lifetime. That's not something that's going to light a fire under me to really do it. Probably it's, I'm just like, well, it'll fall in my lap when, maybe when I'm 70, it'll happen. You want that drive, that motivation.
Right. Because otherwise it's kind of nebulous. Yeah.
No, I'll be a billionaire. I'll be a billionaire after I die. I'll get run over by a truck and my family will sue for $1 billion. Up with the money. They're like, well, Chris wanted to be a billionaire. We get to spend all his money. He doesn't. So that's probably how it would go for me. I don't know.
Yeah. And maybe they'll dedicate something to you.
They'll be like, yeah, name the trash cans out front after him. We didn't like him anyway, but thanks for the money, dumbass. That sounds like something my family would do. I don't know. I love them, but they don't love me. I'm just doing jokes.
You guys have different love languages, is that?
Yeah, they have a love language, and I want to be in a cult love language, evidently. So as we go through that, anything more in the book you want to tease out before we start talking about some of the different offerings you do? on your website?
Just that it is something that can help a person to process any transition in life. And that could be from a empty nest syndrome to, going back to young adulthood when you're transitioning from depending on your parents, to being out there on your own.
Wait, we're supposed to do that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or, if life has thrown you some curveballs and you're dealing with divorce, and you're transitioning, from one version of yourself to something totally new, it can be very helpful.
Oh, yeah. Make those transitions. So let's talk about some of the services you offer there. I know we talked pre-show about there was a service or a thing you talked about called MAP. Yeah. And you work, I see some different offerings here. There's different programs, burnout, leadership, team services. Tell us about those and some of the coaching and help you do there.
Yeah, with MAP, which stands for Make Anything Possible, it is a neuroscience-based approach. It basically recognizes that there is a part of us that responds to being called the superconscious. It turns out that this part of us is able to come alongside us and help our conscious mind to interact with in a very effective way with our subconscious mind. And the importance of that is that our conscious mind really handles a whole lot less in terms of decisions that are made and influencing our behavior. The majority of that is coming from our subconscious mind. To give you an example, our conscious mind processes around 40 to 50, depending on which research you look at, bits of information per second.
Wow.
Compared to the subconscious, which processes 11 million bits per second.
I'm tired already. I need a nap.
Yeah, so the subconscious is really running the show in our lives many times, and we don't know it. We don't realize that, and it's based on memories. But with the MAP process, we engage the superconscious, which turns out the superconscious has been with each of us has this. So we have this part of us that's been with us since conception that knows how to communicate with our subconscious mind based on what we desire consciously.
Well, that's a lot of processing going on in the background, eh?
Say that again?
That's a lot of processing going on in the background.
Oh, absolutely. The majority of the processing is happening on an automatic level. And for instance, we don't have to think about breathing. We don't have to think about, many things. Our heart beats without us having to think about it. And I'm sure it comes in handy that we don't have to think about everything that our bodies do.
Oh, yeah.
And that's part of what's handled by the subconscious, but that's not the only thing.
Can you imagine if you had to sit around all day and be like, hey, heart, I need you to start beating some more better lungs. I need you to breathe. We need to keep the blood flowing. Is everything pumping okay? That would make it not very fun.
No. So the subconscious does a lot of important things. However, it also holds all these memories from our entire lives. So we've got different memory banks. So it's believed that we have 3 memory banks. That one is primarily from when we were conceived until birth. Another one is like from birth till maybe around 5 years old. And then there's one that is from your birth until now. It's like everything. And your superconscious is able to see what is activated in those memories, as well as in your body when you think about certain things or start talking about certain things. So consciously, whatever you're focusing on, it triggers, even if you don't feel triggered, it activates. So imagine that things are lighting up, in the subconscious when you think about certain things consciously. And your superconscious is able to see if you're lighting up something that is creating problems for you now.
Oh, wow.
And it can actually help to neutralize things that are creating resistance to your goals.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if it's something that it's like it's not serving you. It served you as a child, maybe, but it's not serving you now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, we don't do anything new. It's like a little kid that's afraid to do anything new. But you're an adult now and you're in leadership.
What?
And you're expected to come up with new ideas and be innovative. And it's hard for you to be your best version of that with this little version of you that's active and you don't know it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And so some of these offerings that you have here, you've got the no burnout. I think, tell us about what this is.
Well, the whole thing with no burnout is just it's still utilizing some of the neuroscience techniques, but it's helping people to realize when they are actually calling things normal that are not. It's like somebody getting used to things that are draining them. And they're being drained, and helping them to recognize it's like somebody bleeding slowly, helping them to realize you're bleeding and what to do to stop the bleeding and what to do so that they can actually get healthy.
Well, I mean, that's really important where people can take and, do that and figure it all out. A lot of people are burning out today. They're working hard. There's a lot of stress they have and all that stuff. So yeah, it can really make all the difference for them, right?
Yeah. And the funny, well, it may not be funny, but as it pertains to stress, it turns out that we get to call whatever is stress to us. It's like what's stress to one person may not be stress to someone else, even in the same household, a part of being able to prevent burnout is shifting a perspective about what we call things. If we judge something as it's like, that is awful, that is horrible. Oh, I can't believe that, that happened. That charges whatever that is, that experience, that belief, that memory. We are giving it that charge, but we don't realize that we are the ones that are doing that. So one of the first things to learn to do is to start being more aware and start noticing when we're basically creating higher stress, increasing stress by the way that we label things and the way that we create new stories about things.
Oh, wow. And you during a retreat, I think, here and some executive coaching for executive vision and wellness. Tell us about what you're offering there.
With the executive retreats, it is all inclusive. And it includes wellness, med spa options. It includes things like meditation and yoga, sound healing, and really cutting edge med spa services. Of course, the usual as far as traditional massage and aerobatic massage, cold plunge. There's vibroacoustic. There's over 12 options, as far as what a person can do. And they get to choose about 4 of those. And it's on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's immersive, and it also includes MAP sessions. So Make Anything Possible sessions are a part of the executive retreat experience. And they leave with a 90-day plan as far as for their leadership, not just their work goals, but also personal goals.
Go. Well, it should be good there. The other thing I noticed, you have a no burnout ebook on the website. Talk to us about what that is and what people can check out.
That's something that they can, ask for. It provides them with some of the tips that include taking micro breaks And there's also a handout. And I'm seeing something. Okay. I need to. Can't believe that. I just had a pop up on my computer saying, we're going to shut down in about 4 minutes.
Computer?
And it's like, no. So I am surprised to even see that. So
Okay.
before that happened,
Uh-huh.
I was talking about something in response to what you had said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So remind me.
We were talking about the ebook for No Burnout.
Yes.
Mhm.
So that's something that they can get. They just basically provide their email address, and that's sent to them. But it includes, like I was saying, some micro breaks and other tips, and even there's a one-page PDF that's within that they can take a look at, that kind of summarizes different things that they can do, things that can help them sleep better, things that can help them, in terms of even if they're dealing with upset, in relationships or anything else, how to shift out of upset so that they stay in a place where they have more peace, more calm.
More peace and more calm. That's always a good thing to have, I think, isn't it? Let's see. And then you appear on podcasts. There's something on here that talks about 10 senior level healthcare executive pain points. Do you want to tease out maybe a couple of those?
Oh, some of the pain points. One of the pain points is the sacrifice that frequently happens of their personal life. In order for them to be on, it's like on call 24/7 because of the position that they're in, and responding to stakeholders, folks from boards, as well as the sacrifice of their physical health. Many times they are not taking care of themselves physically. And we know that when you're on a plane, one of the things they always tell you is, if there is a change in cabin pressure, the oxygen mask drops down, and make sure you put it on yourself. Even if you're with a child, make sure you put it on yourself first. And when it comes to people in leadership, especially your C-suite execs, they are used to making things happen and focusing on that so much that they're not always taking care of themselves. Mm-hmm. And their relationships, as far as, marriages being impacted, families being impacted in a negative way as part of the fallout, of them not focusing on the things that are personal.
Yeah. Don't focus on the things that are personal. Yeah.
And another pain point is them always having to be creative and innovative, and also troubleshooting and making decisions, what some people would consider high pressure decisions that they wouldn't want to have to make on a regular basis, like who gets to keep a job and who's going to be let go. In order for certain profit margins to be maintained or increased based on what the strategic plan is. It's like, who's going to be impacted in their organization? Mm-hmm. Those are difficult decisions for most people to make and live with.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. So anything more we want to tease out before we go?
I'm good. What about?
Well, I'm good too. I think we've got all in the can. Give people a final pitch out to order up your services. I know there's a thing here where you do some PR, some research services, and PR relations services. Give people a final pitch out as we go out to how they can onboard with that in your .coms.
Okay. When I'm working with someone as far as doing the executive coaching, that would be one of the things that would be an add-on, that we can focus on their image. We can focus on if they want to create a new image, what would that look like? and using MAP and also mind movies and some other approaches that I use that help them to actually make a shift and make a change. And if you want something new in your life, it means create a new you.
Create a new you. That's what you should always do. Create a new you. Well, it's been fun to have you on, Barbara. Very insightful, and people should look to your services and all that good stuff. Thank you for coming on the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you. And thanks to our audience for tuning in. Order up her book wherever fine books are sold. Healthy, Happy, Whole, a health and well-being workbook, out February 21st, 2022. Thanks so much for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, Chris Voss 1 on the TikTokity, and all those crazy places in it. Be good to each other. Stay safe. We'll see you guys next time. And that's